Welcome to the Department of General Services Procurement Division. My name is Wayne Gross. I am an outreach liaison with the Certification and Outreach Branch. Today's webinar is entitled How to Do Business with California State Government, Step 5, Market Your Business to State Agencies. This webinar is based on our brochure, How to Do Business with California State Government, a 5-step process. Before I start the webinar, I want to show you where you can always find the most current brochure. We start at our homepage, which is www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov. You'll notice on the left slide, I have favorites circled. Make this page a favorites. Everything for state procurement starts here. There's 7 blue bars on the left side of the page. You'll click the 4th one, Small Business and Disabled Veterans Business Enterprise Services. You next have 3 bullets, Search, Online Certification, and Homepage. You will click the 2nd bullet, Online Certification. Once you get to this page, you notice that there are 4 blue bars. Above the 4 blue bars is a sentence that says, for more information, view the How to Do Business with California State Government brochure, English version, Spanish version, as well as the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise brochure. And the version that we are using currently is March 2014. The version on our website is always the most current. And as you can see, step 5 is market your business to state agencies. There are 7 bulleted items on step 5. And by the end of this webinar, you will be able to discuss the advocates, purchasing authority, the state contracting and procurement registration system called SCPRS, Reciprocity, the California Online Directory, the Outreach Calendar, and CalCard. The first bullet is entitled Advocate. Any agency that procures $100,000 or more must have an advocate. These are the people in the know for each state agency. And once you click the advocate link, you get an Excel spreadsheet, and it gives their department, their unit, office location, name, address, city, phone, email address. Now, the first thing you always want to remember is you want to contact them first. To get the contract, make the contact. Please do not take the email addresses, highlight them all, and send out an e-blast to all of them introducing yourself. You always want to make the phone call. Make it personal. What you're going to do is you're going to prepare a 30-second elevator speech, which is the 3rd bullet. And this elevator speech includes your full name, your business name, your supplier ID number, and what you do. For example, it would go something like this. Hi, my name is Wayne Gross. I'm with ABC Fence Company, and I'm certified as a small business and a disabled veteran business enterprise. My certification number is 1752943, and I build fences, be it concrete, cement, block, chain link. Can you help me? I've given the advocate all the information that they need to start a conversation with me. You'll notice that I ask them also, can you help me? If they say yes, you've got your foot in the door, and you can proceed by giving them all the background information about your company. If they say no, simply turn that no into a yes by saying, I'm sorry that you can't help me, but do you know any other advocates or agencies that could use my goods or services. It's very basic. Remember that advocates talk among themselves. We have mandatory quarterly meetings, and so we're always in the know. You notice that the fourth attachment, bullet rather, says have an attachment or a brochure with your supplier ID number, and that includes your business cards, your emails, your website. Consider your supplier ID number, your social security number. Memorize it. Remember that that supplier ID number identifies you in the procurement world. On this page, the second bullet says check grammar and spelling. Make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And lastly, in red it says to get the contract, make the contact. The next bulleted item on step 5 is the purchasing authority or delegation. Every year, each agency comes to the Department of General Services and says, I can buy for myself. Agencies don't want to give up that control, if you will. And so what happens is DGS says, well, did you meet your small business and DVBE goals, 25% and 3%? If they say yes, we say thank you, and there's no problem. If they are under the 25 and or 3%, and it becomes apparent that they're not getting any better or worse, they're not meeting their goals, then we start looking at them more seriously and say, hey, we need a business plan. How are you going to get the 25 and 3% goals? What DGS gives, we can take away. You will notice that on this page, we have the department, we have the non-IT limits, the IT limits, the purchasing authority number, the expiration date, and the department contact information. You will notice that the contact names are not, I repeat, are not the advocates. These people on this page are the managers for the buyers of the individual apartments. So the reason we show you this is, for example, if I was in IT, I would look at all of the limits, and you'll notice on this slide, the third from the bottom says Air Resources Board, $500,000, and the rest are $5,000 minus a penny. So what I would want to do is contact the IT person, who is Steve Grogan on this example, and give him a call and give him my 30-second elevator speech. Steve probably would say, well, you need to talk to Bill Smith. He's our IT buyer, and here's his number, and if we get disconnected. As I said, the advocates talk to each other, the buyers talk to each other. So don't be surprised if you would hear a conversation that Steve talked to Bill 2 hours later at lunch and said, hey, did that Wayne Gross call you? Yes, he did. What do you think? Can he help us? No, he can't. But I gave him someone over at Caltrans who I think can help him. To get the contract, you have to make the contact. The next bulleted item under Step 5, Marketing, is our State Contracts and Procurement Register, or fondly called SCPRS. SCPRS is found on our homepage at www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov. Under the fifth blue bar, We click at Open, and it says to view SCPRS data, the first bullet says public access data updated weekly for the general public. That's you and me. Now, you'll get to the data page, and you'll notice that the second and third blue bars have eSCPRS data and SCPRS data. On the right side of the slide, you'll notice that there are dates. eSCPRS, electronic SCPRS, is from the date we went electronic on the internet on March 16th, 2009 to today. So if you want to look at anything from that date forward, you click eSCPRS. If you want to go back through 2003, you click the SCPRS data. That's March 15th, 2009, back through 2003. So we're going to click eSCPRS, and you'll notice all the dates, and they're all quarters. And I'm going to use as an example the last one, March 16th, 2009 through June 30th, 2009. That's 3.5 months worth of data. And you will get an Excel spreadsheet. These are very large. This screen shows you 49 lines of information. This Excel spreadsheet actually has 27,200 lines of information, and that's just for 3.5 months worth of buying. You'll notice that there are columns on the top. Column B is the most important, which is the department, and that's the department that owns the contract. So don't be surprised if you have an agency that's a small, relatively small agency, and for example, DGS is the one who actually processed the contract. Column C is the contract/PO. This is not, I repeat, is not the solicitation number. It is the purchasing order. And so if you wanted to look at a specific contract, what you would do is you would ask what department, you would tell them the PO number and the end date, which is column E. And that's going to tell them, when they got the purchase order to process. Column F is the total price, and you'll notice in this example, everything, the pound sign, what that means is you have to expand the column to see the information. You have columns G through Q, which include acquisitions, how were they acquired, was it the small business DVBE option or the first policy, was it an exempt thing, whatever. Column J tells you who was awarded the contract, and column L tells you their supplier ID number if they were certified small business and or DVBE. Column M and N are for the items. Column P and Q are unit price and total price, and column R is the item classification, the United Nations codes, the UN SPSC codes. And what I'm going to show you is probably the most expeditious way of using SCPRS to help you. You'll notice that on the top left of the screen there's a red arrow, and that's pointing to a square, or rectangle rather, above the number 1 and to the left of column A. And you'll notice that there is a little triangle, and when you click on that, what happens is it highlights the entire workshop. So you don't have to take your cursor and go from A1 over to R1 all the way down 27,200 lines just by one click. You'll notice in the top middle it says data. You'll click that. And then you'll click sort. And then you will sort by the last column, column R, the UN SPSC codes, and hit OK. And now the entire work page is numerically completed starting with the lowest UNSPSC codes up to the highest ones. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, here's the easiest way to look at the information that you have on your profile. I'm using Cop Shop Installations, Inc., supplier ID number 42934, and this is my profile. And you'll notice that there are classification codes, and there's, I think, 12 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at skippers via those classification codes. Now you'll notice at the bottom of the slide, there's a red arrow that says the profile codes are 6 digits. So every one of those 6-digit codes actually is 8 digits. So, for example, 251721 is really 251-721-00. That's the placeholder. And in skippers, it gets specific. It actually goes down to the different codes. 251-721-01, 02, 03, 04, could go all the way down to 99. So in my example, I'm going to use brackets and braces, which is 311-625-00. And so when I go over to column R on the Excel spreadsheet, I take my cursor and go down to 311-625-01, and it goes all the way down to 06. Now all I'd have to do is go over to column B and look at the agencies that buy my brackets. General Services, Corrections, that's prisons, General Services, Department of Education, Highway Patrol, and Employment Development, EDD. All I then have to do is take out my advocate list and give my 30-second elevator speech to those respective agencies. Now, through research, I found out that specifically the one that I sell the most of is 04, 311-625-04. So then I might want to home in on just those agencies that use my 04, General Services and maybe Corrections. So that's how you would use it. And this is just one of the codes. And remember, I said I had 12 codes. So I would take each one and section out those codes. So instead of having 27,200 lines, I may have maybe 80 lines. And then I can do more research. The other way that you can use an Excel spreadsheet is by the Control F on your keyboard. And this is the find and replace window. And so find what, I could put in bracket and I could find all. And you'll notice that at the bottom left of the find and replace, there are 88 cells found. With this being an Excel spreadsheet, my research has come up with the fact that out of those 88 cells, I guarantee that at least 44 of those cells are repeaters. So columns M, N, N are the same. It's going to say bracket and bracket, that type thing. So that's why I personally use the sort by the UNSPSC codes and then go in specifically with my profile codes. The next bulleted item on step 5 is reciprocity. And what this means is we have local governments and companies that honor our state certification. And when you go to this link, you will see it broken out into the Bay Area, the Los Angeles region, Northern California, Sacramento, San Diego, and the utilities. And so once you get certified and you want to do business, and I'm using the example of the County of Sacramento on the bottom left of your screen, they accept our small business certification. What that means is you do not have to get recertified with them. When you click on the County of Sacramento on the page, it takes you to their website, Doing Business with the County. And as you go through each one of these links, you'll probably have to fill out a one-page synopsis, just giving them basic information so that you can start receiving solicitations from that specific agency. Here is just another way to broaden your base. The next item is our California Online Directory, our state phone book, which is www.cold.ca.gov. There are two ways that you can sort, either by employee name or by agency. So if you click on the employee information button and you put in my last name, you get all the grosses in the state phone book, and it's alphabetized by first name. And so you'll notice that I'm the last one, and my agency, the city that I work in, my phone number, and my email address. I can run, but I can't hide. The other way that you can sort is by agency. When you click on that, you get all of the agencies, something like 210. And in our example, I'm using the California Housing Finance Agency. It's a very small agency because when I look at the advocate list, there's no advocate. So someone buys for this agency. But if you notice that on the left side, there is a red arrow for business services and facilities operation. Now, that's the key word to get your foot in the door, business services. And you'll notice that Guy Motter is the manager. And you've got a phone number. So now you have someone that you can give your 30-second elevator speech to. And he's probably going to say, oh, well, Bill Smith over at DGS is the one who buys our paper, pencils, whatever. So you get Bill Smith's number. You'll notice that on the right side, the arrow has California Department of Technology. Guaranteed, this agency is small, and so their day-to-day operations, they're not going to have an IT department, and they're going to have to call the California Department of Technology. And you will note that on your advocate list, there is an advocate for the Department of Technology. So that's who you would want to market to. The next item on step 5 is the news and events link. And here again, we go to the home page, www.eprocure.dgs.ca.gov. You see why we make it a favorite. Everything starts here. And on the right side under what's new, the second bullet says Small Business and DVBE Outreach Events 2014-15. And this is our calendar of events. With it being at the end of the year, our calendar is very skeletal. Is that a word? Anyway, it is divided in the northern region, the north central, Sacramento, central, south central, and southern region. And it has dates, times, name of the event, the location, who's sponsoring it, and registration. So if you have a question on something, you can always call us and ask if this is something that is worthwhile for you to go to. The last bulleted item is the CalCard Visa. And if you accept a Visa card, when you are awarded the contract, you want to ask them if you can be paid by a Visa card. This is a method of payment, obviously, and usually you can get paid within 1 or 2, up to 3 business days after the administrator agrees that it is an undisputed invoice. Here again, there is a fee associated with accepting the Visa card. And so you want to check out your local banks, Costco, and Sam's Club to get more information. So, in summary, you now know what an advocate is and where to find them. You also know what purchasing authority is and who can help you at those different agencies. You know about SCPRS and how to use it to your advantage. You know about the Reciprocity program, how local governments and companies honor our small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise certifications so you don't have to get recertified with them. You know about our online directory, our phone book. You know where our outreach calendar is, and you know about the Cal Card Visa. Thank you for listening to this presentation. If you have any questions, kindly email me at wayne.gross@dgs.ca.gov or advocate@dgs.ca.gov or call 1-800-559-5529, option 3. Thank you.